1010. I think there's two. And then there's another one on the other side. Alright, man. I already turned off the engine. There was 8mm on the airbox, and then on the throttle body is 8mm.
She knows.
ESDs no longer work after a certain amount of heat. Oh, right there, look. Shit. Gotta press the black connection. That's fucking gay. I mean, lean. On this one, you just go like this. Shit. Press it and it opens, and you pull it, but you gotta wiggle it. And now you just pull back like that. Oh, they're right there. I don't know how they're coming out. God damn it. Oh shit, I shouldn't have said that. So was that what I was able to do to remove the bottom side on that side? Trim, I mean the fucking butt connection. I grabbed the bungee and I put it around here and I put both sides like that and I put them in here and I have enough room like this to put the trim tool in the back there and just push, just wiggle it. Now I'm gonna do this side because that side is closer. I'm gonna do the same thing. Here. Until there's so much force in here. Okay, now it's pushed all the way. And I'm gonna go over here on this side and I'm gonna see if I get that trim tool in there. Fuck, that's hard. Ah, shit. Fuck. Damn it. Let me see. Fuck. can't get shit there. Fuck that. That's not gonna work. It's gonna be on this side. Because the thing. Fuck that shit. I got this one. Oh, it's right in the middle. So it's way closer to this side. Okay. So I got this one. Now I need to get the one in the middle. To get the one in the middle, what I gotta do? Fuck. I have to do the other way. Fuck whoever did this design. Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them. They should die. I think I got it out. I should have stopped recording. Fuck. Let's see if I got it out. How the fuck did this shit come out even? Oh, fuck. Ain't. Fuck this shit. How the fuck did this shit come out?
Looks incredible, and they look goofy as hell. They did not think this through. The only message it sends is that Luigi Mangione looks cool as F. It's a huge flop.
Are they promoting him? I mean, that's how I would take that. Like, chicks are gonna be. Now he's like hot and a bad boy.
Greg Stoker says giving Luigi Mangione a Hannibal Lecter perk walk really demonstrates how extraordinarily terrified the world class is at this moment. Charge him with terrorism, escort him with the legions of pigs. They know they could never put down capitalism, commercial. That's what that is.
Public-private partnership. That's where your taxes pay some oligarch and we pretend that he's a self-made man, even though he's subsidized.
I feel, don't you feel safer knowing that there's about 1 million cops walking a guy who's shackled and handcuffed while crime is running rampant in New York City? Don't you? And then there's a bunch of other cops joining hands to keep workers from protesting. Don't you feel safer?
I want to feel bad for that CEO's family, but they're not my network, so.
Here is, look at that. Well done, police department. And now you get to take credit for what was basically something accomplished by a barista. It was actually it. Wasn't it?
Maybe we'll finally get stronger ghost gun laws. You know that ghost gun term?
U.S. filed
Put a
murder
cover
charges
over
against
this.
Mangione that could bring death penalty.
Cash for Kids judge was pardoned, I just want to add.
Yeah, that's right. The cash for kids. That's right.
That's not a good nickname, Cash for Kids. That really doesn't come to that.
The judge who was taking millions of dollars to send 8-year-olds to prison. That's for real.
Doesn't have the sweet ring of
He's got pirates.
No shooter, which sounds like music.
Wow.
No, this is why I don't believe. This is why I think this was like about something else, and you're supposed to be because it so taps into something you want, like an anger that's there. You know?
Yes, they think they're making an example out of him, but I don't think it's the example they think.
Yeah, that's what I get that impression that they thought a different example was being set than the one it's set.
Yeah.
But either way, it's covering up that financial crime that's almost certainly connected to Nancy Pelosi.
Come see us on tour in Los Angeles, Honolulu, Dallas, Texas, Baltimore, Atlantic City, Cohoes, New York, and Providence, Rhode Island. Go to jimmygo.com for tickets.
I'm Richard Marcus. I scammed casinos out of $25 million. I never got caught. This is how crime works. The only thing they really know about the underbelly of Las Vegas is what they see in the movies. They're not exposed to it. There's all kinds of other stuff going on. You know, there's soft cheating, there's hard cheating, there's stealing, there's heists to try and cheat a casino. It is a very dangerous thing to do. You will most likely end up being arrested, put in prison, so please do not do it. of my casino cheating moves were based on basically 2 or 3 simple things. One of them was to increase drastically the size of a bet, anywhere from a starting bet of $10 to making it $1,000, or a starting bet of $100 to making it $10,000, after the outcome was already known and claiming the dealer made a mistake. And of course, the Savannah move. We figured out a way by hiding a $5,000 chip underneath a $5 chip at the bottom of a roulette layout. And the dealer would only see the $5 chip on top. The top $5 chip was jutted out just a few millimeters to cast a little shadow on the bottom chip where you couldn't really see the denomination. You knew it was there, but you couldn't see. So the dealers naturally assumed it was just 2 $5 chips. If the bet wins, they have to pay $10,000. If the bet loses, right, before the dealer can take it, I would go out and grab the bet and put it and take it away. And most times the dealer didn't even see me do that. You would think it's a flavored move. You would think the dealer would catch it every time, but the dealer only ended up seeing it maybe once in 5 times on the average. The cheating move occurred when we lost the bet. It was the opposite to what we did before that. So when the bet won, it was a $10,000 payout that the dealer didn't see, so the dealer couldn't pay it. They had to call the supervisor over, and the supervisor had to call surveillance to play back the video, right, and to see if it was a legitimate bet. And of course, it always was. So the surveillance was the ones getting paid, and when the bet won, what did I put back? I put back $10. What did the dealer think was there the whole time? $10. We did the Savannah move for a $5,000 payoff to a maximum of $20,000 payoff when we had 2 different Savannah bets on the layout. And I had a few incidents where I got caught, but I never got prosecuted. Andy Anderson was chasing me around Las Vegas while he was working for Griffin Investigations, the private detective agency that worked for the casinos to help protect them against people like me. He would always grab me up and take me to the back room just to get me ID, just to hassle me. He was a constant, pain in the neck. But then when I wrote the book and we met for the first time outside of a casino back room at a game protection conference where I keynoted the conference, he told me that they were going around to places like Caesar's Palace, taking wheels apart, looking for digital equipment back in the 90s when nobody was using digital equipment.
All up in this shit.
They were looking for, did I have a was I controlling somehow how the ball landed? This blew my mind more than anything else when I heard this, because the move was so simple. I just made a bet. If I won, I won. If I lost, I took it back, and that was it. I train casinos now, and I train them specifically how to stop the Savannah move, which entails a very simple movement. When the dealer waves off no more bets, right? Instead of just standing there facing the layout, right, with their eyes, they need to take a step out of the box to the left and look and see if there are any high denomination chips out there before they spin the ball. When I first came out to Vegas and started cheating casinos, it was the end of the mob era, and it had an intimate feel to it. And there was no amusement parks, no volcanoes. It was just pure action, pure gambling. I was recruited by a professional casino cheat named Joe Classy. So I'm dealing in a casino at the Four Queens in downtown Las Vegas. He came up to my table and then he said to me, how about you and I, we get together for a drink after your shift? So I agreed to meet him across the street at the Horseshoe. And Joe says to me, why are you the only person in that casino not stealing chips from the rack? And I knew that was true. I could see the other dealers were all stealing $10 here, $15 here, red $5 chips. And, I just wasn't interested in that. He said, I'm a professional casino cheat, and I'm looking to recruit somebody for my team. One of my guys just left. I need a replacement. 2 weeks later, I quit my job to go with them. I knew nothing about the type of cheating that they did, which is strictly chip manipulation. So I had to get trained. The first move that he trained me at was to actually bet $15, 3 red $5 chips, and then after the dealer pays, to switch in 2 $500 chips with a $5 chip on top, so that's $1,005, and claim to the dealer and say, hey, you paid me wrong, what is this crap, pay me right. And as I switch it in, underneath my arm there's a whole bunch of hidden $500 chips that are exposed now. Those are backup chips to claim credibility that I'm a $500 player. They broke the rule down into me that social engineering is all based on psychology. I can make you believe that I'm a guy that bets $10,000 a hand in a casino, which I did, and they never call surveillance because they believe I'm a high roller. He trained me how to be a claimer. A claimer is the person who takes the money off the table, regardless of who actually switched the chips. Everybody thinks that casino cheating is about sleight of hand. I make you look this way, I do a switch on chips that way. I have to divert your attention, but it's all the opposite. You do it right under their nose.
Stupid ass move.
For the first 13 years, we had 3 other members and me. We had Joe, who was the boss, and he was surveillance and security. I was the person who took the money off the table, and then we had Duke, who was the mechanic. His job was to manipulate the chips, and then we had Jerry, and his job was to carry through betting patterns that would give Duke, the mechanic, the opening that he needed to actually do the move that I could claim. That was our first team. The second half of my career, I worked with 2 other guys. One guy whose name was Balls. He was fearless, and he would throw $5,000 or $10,000 in a poker pot without even thinking about it. And my second partner was Pat. Pat became the claimer, and I became the mechanic for that team. That was the team that we worked for the second dozen years of my career. First we have to scout out the casino, make sure it's right. Then we have to get the particular chips we needed. In all cases, there was a high denomination chip involved. Then we had to get our positions around the table. In blackjack, we only needed one seat, so that was fairly easy. In craps, we had a mechanic and a claimer, so we needed one person to be standing behind the other, which is not that hard. But in roulette, which is the most sophisticated, it's almost choreographed. So we have to have 4 people on the game, 3 of them actually sitting and 1 of them standing. So that sometimes took time. When I used to go through casinos, I could really identify cheaters because I recognized the betting patterns. For instance, they want their chips to be perfectly centered in the betting circle, or on the roulette, they want it perfectly straight up on the number of the chips because they do not want the dealer they use, because casino cheating teams, they never speak to each other. They use sign language. Hands touching the face, hands touching their ears, this, that. They come to me, rubbing a chin means everything is okay. Now, from the casino point of view, they're not skilled in that, they don't train for that, but for them, it all ends up with the video cameras today. The best I ever hear teaching casino, and there's most people in the casino or in Vegas, a big championship fight night or a huge concert. That's what draws all the high rollers in. That's what we wanted. But the negative part of that is you have tons of people. Sometimes you can't get a seat. So you might have to wait to get around the roulette wheel. You might have to wait an hour or 2 hours just to get in position. So when you're doing a sophisticated roulette move, you're looking at an hour to an hour and a half of doing the move. But if you're doing something simple like the Savannah, you're looking at total, provided that you have the $5,000 chips you need to do it, you're looking at just a few minutes. We each did our own thing. I like to bet sports. I lost quite a bit of money doing that, and I like to, go to restaurants. I live well, but I will say this, I didn't really make any wise investments. to break the guy's hands because he was cheating. I came right in at the tail of that. The Italian mob, their main thing in casinos was skimming money from the customers. Again, it was a movie casino. You saw guys walking out with Joe Pesci and some other guys walking out with suitcases filled with cash that were never going to get reported to the Gaming Control Board or the IRS. But also, there was a mafioso named Tony Palazzo, and he was the head of the infamous Hole in the Wall gang. They would take the room next to the room where these rich people were staying, and then when they were down in the casino or hitting a shelf, they would drill a hole in the wall, go in and rob the place. Sometimes you see scenes like in the movie 21, and it's about the MIT blackjack art. They get roughed up. That's what it started out in the early 70s. I did get some serious threats, and they had no evidence against me, but they didn't like me because they knew what I was doing. Security guards took me up in an elevator to the top floor, the penthouse of the Desert Inn. I had the key, and they walked me through the suite right to the balcony overlooking Las Vegas Boulevard. And they said to me, "Kid, the next time we see you here, this is how you're leaving the casino." And then they turned around and they walked me back out the door. And I had a few of those type of threats, bodily harm, prison, and all that stuff. But nothing ever happened to me. And the person who recruited me told me that, just keep your mouth shut. Any evidence they have on you, they have. You're not going to help yourself by trying to talk your way out of it. So, I was always confident and stay confident, and that drove me through it. In the United States, blackjack is the big game. In Asia, it's baccarat. In the UK, it's roulette. The place to cheat casinos is London. They have so much faith in their people on the floor. What they have is video coverage, 24 video coverage, and on every, they had not only a supervisor on the game, but they had a guy in a high chair, like a ladder chair, and never take his eyes off the lamp. Just sit there like this. That was his job, just to make sure that he saw everything that happened. And we had to deal with that. In the United States, it's like, they got one supervisor for every 2, 4, or even 6 games. And in London, they have audio surveillance right on the tables. They have hidden mics right on the tables. But in the United States, they don't have any audio, okay? So they rely completely on visual. So they try to avoid things like standing behind a table, looking suspicious, especially if it's card counting, like somebody might be back counting without playing. That means standing there counting. The thing we concentrated on is avoiding surveillance when they were going to be called to verify one of our illegitimate bets. Surveillance never catches on to sophisticated professional cheats by themselves. They must have the input from the floor, or else they get nowhere with that. And another reason for that is surveillance has evolved, where today watching the games and protecting the assets is just one piece of what they do. Back then, it was all they did was protect the games. But now they have to worry about all kinds of stuff: active shooters, terrorism, human trafficking, prostitution, defend themselves against canine units. They got so much stuff going on that they just don't have time to watch the games as much as they need to be. I knew from the beginning that we weren't the only ones. The really best casino cheating teams in the world. There's never been more teams. One day we go up to Lake Tahoe, and we're doing a cheat on a roulette table, which involves pass posting $100 chips straight up on a roulette bet for a $3,500 payoff. Duke went right out to pick up the dolly, and it happened that the person's hand went out and collided with our mechanic's hand. was the Italian mechanic for the Italian team. Now we had a little bit of a problem here because South Shore they casinos, right? Down together, all 8. We decided, okay, you guys take these 2 casinos on this side of the Lake Tahoe Strip, and we'll take these 2 casinos, and we stay out of each other's way. Now, as the years went on after that, we would run into them. I never really got to see what move they were doing, okay, what their move actually was. I would try to sneak around and see if I could see what they're doing, and then I saw their move. Their move was great. They would bet 4 stacks of roulette chips, $1 roulette chips on 4 different areas of the wheel. Usually the winner had to be near one of their 4 stacks. Dealer was going to put the dolly on the number that won. Their mechanic, or they were all mechanics, whichever one of them was closest, would just go in there and swish. With a swish, you would just move that stack of chips to the winning number before the dealer could get there and put the dolly on top of it. And imagine that, a stack of 20 roulette chips, to just move it that fast without any of them falling down. I mean, it was so lightning quick. And when I saw that, I said to myself, wow, these guys are better than we are. And that's what I did.
What is it now?
One day at the Golden Nugget in downtown Las Vegas, I put the Savannah bet down just like all the other 1,000 times, right? The dealer tells the pit boss, and then he disappears. They started to close the games down because they wanted to sweat me out and see if I would run. So they would cash everybody else on the table, cash them out, and then the dealers would have to stand there, and I would stand there, and this went on 2 or 3 hours, and they would discuss it in the surveillance room upstairs. So finally, another guy comes into the pit, comes right up to me, gives me his card. He says, "Mr. Marcus, my name is such and such. I'm the president of the Golden Nugget here. We're not paying you." First time it happened. What do you mean you're not paying me? We're not paying you. He said, "You have a problem with it, you take it up with the Nevada Game Control Board. Let them pay it. We're not paying you." That's how it ended in Las Vegas. That's how it ended.
Oh shit.
In Nevada, if you cheat in a casino for a $5 game, you are getting arrested for charged with felony. It's a year in prison. In Europe, it's very liberal. If all jurisdictions had really harsh penalties, I think you find a lot of cheaters deciding to become advantage players and making less money, but avoiding the risk.
I think it's like
When it comes to, like, what could the casinos really do to train your personnel to understand cheating, to learn, the cheat, to make stop it. Every casino should have a game detection trainer all the way down to the dealers, because the dealers are your first line of defense against all casino cheating. So I think it really comes down to training their staffs how to combat it more than anything else. Now, a lot of casinos actually have a unit of the state police that's in the casino. Law enforcement has more direct access to background information on people. Casino who suspect somebody might be a cheater and they don't have any evidence, they can get more information from law enforcement that would increase the probability that this person might be a casino cheater because he or she has been involved in some other crime of another nature.
Right. So actually,
Most of them, a very high percentage, they're just variations and to the same old scams. The Savannah is actually a variant of another scam that was called the walkaway scam that was done with cash instead of chips. Cheating today is probably bigger in casinos than it ever has been because of the introduction of digital cheating equipment. What you see more and more of a trend now is the work of slot machines. There's a term called reverse engineering, which enables slot cheats to more or less predict, based on slot machines' recent activity, which is supposed to be random, but by taking actual photographs of what's going on with the machine's activity in recent times and relaying that data to a Russian laboratory somewhere or a Chinese laboratory somewhere, and then the information comes back to them on the property that a certain slot machine is going to hit. So we're seeing a lot more advantage play taking over from what used to be digital equipment scams. When it comes to cheat detection, AI is the most overrated piece of technology that you can think of. The only part of that that's somewhat effective, in my opinion, against the cheating is the facial recognition. Because if you have a database with my picture in it, and I walk in and you have good FR equipment, you're going to know I'm in your casino. But the AI itself, catching the cheating is, no AI equipment's going to tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, that's Richard Marcus over there. He's getting ready to do a cheat move on blackjack table number 14. It's not going to happen. In bigger casinos that have higher limits, you're going to have higher value cheat moves. But the percentage of the total bankroll that's affected by cheating will more or less remain the same in all casinos. It'll be a
Okay, so
casino win is eaten up by cheating.
Alright, so to get there tomorrow at what time?
So when you take
6:30. Alright, it says at that time it'll take 41 minutes.
Is it going to put
So,
casinos out of business?
let's say they're in, play it safe, let's say 6:40 they're in the car, and then another 20 minutes will be 7, so 7:20 is when, 7:25 will be arriving at LAX. And then, how long will it take you to get to Malibu? Let's see. Okay, so, double check that. LAX to Malibu. Okay, so 7:10. 7:10. All right, so LAX to 3870 Rambla.
Difficult for that to win, which some people might look at as cheating. Two good examples of that. England and France, where the run started, it was just one example.
30 minutes.
Serious number where
30 minutes.
everything else, any straight up number besides.
Yeah, it's doable. If it's doable.
And the second advantage of that is with blackjack. It used to be in all casinos, blackjack, when you had an ace and a 10,
this is the damage
you won,
one.
and you won the hand, you got paid
You can
3-2.
The whole
Now,
line
I
looks,
believe in most casinos
we'll
in
get to
Nevada,
it, but right now
they
I'm
are
just
now only
cleaning
paying
individual
6 to 5. Okay, so that's a big difference. So, is cheating
we're not
casinos a
changing all of them,
victimless crime?
so
If I'm
I'm gonna
talking
make sure he
straight up to a
favorite
person and I say, you know what, I cheated casinos for 25 years and there's no victim. Sure, some people would argue with me, but what's the impetus of their argument? Are they arguing out of definition, or are they arguing because they're offended by what I said? But as far as just taking the money, I don't think that many people feel sorry for banks or airlines when they get ripped off either. So that's my opinion. So, when we had that problem, when I was doing the Savannah at the Golden Nugget and the president came down and said, I'm sorry, we're not paying you. I mean, that effectively not only ended my career, it ended Pax and Ball's career.
Check it out.
The Gaming Control Board was following me.
They all look like shit, bro. They all look cool. If I was you, I would just, if I was him, I would replace them all, might as well.
Because they didn't want any more of me.
They all look
around.
really bad.
I knew my last day was going to be New Year's Eve, 1999.
Check out the intake. It looks gunky, man. Look, I don't know if he's using the right fuel, or check it out how it looks.
Every other
the
like financial crime like that is usually
Five. This one?
This one.
The downside is motorcycle clubs
In
keep shooting
comparison
each
to
other.
the rest,
We're gonna keep getting labeled as gangs.
Well, this
Anything
one
obvious?
looks like this one is the only one that had this maybe got, I don't know what that means. Maybe something went in there, or maybe it was leaking out. It was leaking maybe because this one, what was that? Oh yeah, this is a action cam. Yeah. I whenever there's like a special job, I like to record it.
And then you just
Put it on
upload it
YouTube.
Not
Yeah,
only
put
did I
it on
have to get
YouTube.
voted in by the chapter,
Where you
but I
upload
had
it
to
on
do
your
an interview with members of
laptop?
the
My
chapter, and I get voted in by them too.
I mean, I have a
My mother
computer, you
chapter
know.
is the
Oh,
original
it's straight to the
founding
phone?
chapter of the
Yeah,
club.
straight to the phone.
When I first
Yeah,
started
straight to the phone.
circles in Oregon, there were 6 members, and so we
I
were
put
pretty
like
small.
just
But
videos
I
of
was elected the
sometimes.
president. I
That's
started a
where
lot
we're
of new
at,
chapters.
What was that?
Every
That's
chapter
where
in
we're
Oregon
at.
Okay,
has
yeah.
to help start
Yeah,
most
no
of
problem. Just
Washington.
I'm just telling you because
think,
the way what I'm looking at right now, it looks pretty
The
bad.
1 percenter diamond.
Oh.
It admitted that we were one of the major clubs in the country. We were bigger than those other clubs. initially the 1%er definition was the 1% of the motorcycle clubs that didn't abide by the rules of the American Motorcycle Association. It's changed over the years.
Gotcha.
More of those old school dominant clubs that have that
Gotcha.
designation.
That's what I'm
now.
cleaning
On
them
the
for
front
now.
of their
Just
vest, it would say
hopefully
Mongols,
it helps them
and
out
below
for
it would
just
say
a
the
little
state
bit
you're
longer,
in,
you know?
the chapter you're in,
Right.
and at the top,
'cause I don't
black
want
and
it to
white
look
bars
like,
were called officer bars. It meant you were an
something we
officer
did
within
either.
that chapter. I think the
Exactly.
Mongols were very militant, and a lot of that comes from not only Vietnam veterans, but as eras progressed, they had veterans from all of the wars.
And then I'm gonna do the
So a lot
other
of
side because
ex-soldiers joined
I'm
the
gonna
Mongols,
change
and then you also get a lot of members of
six.
street gangs.
Six
So
is
they
the
come
other
from
side,
structured,
unfortunately.
rule-based
The corner?
environments as well.
I
And
think
so the
it's the
main
other
thing
side or
there
the
is
opposite
structure
side.
and a very militant structure.
No, no. Let me see. Let me double check. I don't know.
Oh, no,
So
yeah,
that
you-
makes it so that other clubs don't want it.
Right
You
across.
can tell that you're ready for it at any time. By
Right
the time
across.
I joined the Mongols, they were
The same spot or
heavily
just the
involved with
opposite
the Hells
side?
Angels and the Mexican Mafia, and so the risks that came with that were pretty high.
But I was
And
looking
so that was
online
the
and they were
excitement of
saying
being a
that
member, but also kind
these
of the
cars are notorious
fear
for
and anxiety
injector
that
issues.
came with that.
Notorious.
I'm doing that quickly.
The Hells Angels have been the rivals of the Mongols pretty much from day one, and there's been times of peace, but never cordial coexistence. As the Mongols started getting bigger in California, they were showing up to the same places as the Hells Angels. The Hells Angels were the dominant, well-respected clubs. There was a lot of ego involved. And the Mongols used to wear a bottom rocker that said SoCal for Southern California, where the Hells Angels were the only club in the state that had one that said California. So the Mongols decided they were going to wear a California bottom rocker, and they've pretty much been fighting over that since. Ruben Doc Cavazos was the national president of the Mongols up until early 2008. And then he was arrested in that big Black Rain indictment. And during that indictment, he ended up becoming an informant and turning against the club. And then he went into witness protection after he got out of prison. Doc had instigated and organized a lot of the criminal activity, and then when he was facing time for it, he decided to tell on everyone else that was doing it, which were primarily doing it for him or through him. One of the things that Doc Cavazos was charged with was telling the club to go to war. You know, when we would run into rival clubs, to the point where it was no longer fistfights, and someone would generally pull out a gun or a knife, and there would be shooting frequently. So it happened more common, I'd like to admit. Generally, we try and have that stuff pretty planned out. Often the membership was there to protect the president, so even if you might have thrown the first punch, you're generally getting pulled out or people are protecting you. But
I'll take
there's always
water.
guys that
Yeah, I
stand in the
appreciate it, man.
background
Thank
to
you.
stay armed in case anyone else pulls out any weapons, so it's pretty structured.
Yeah, I'll take a
in that
pizza. Yeah, now that
regard.
I'm
But
yeah,
I
I'll
would
take a
say
pizza.
primarily
Appreciate it.
my biggest thing was that I was always the one trying to calm things down or cool things out, stop them from escalating. A lot of the times, the clubs, we would try and speak with the other clubs. We did sit-downs with the Hells Angels or the Outlaws, and we would try and just keep each other's members apart. So I think all the clubs are working to try not let...
Very slowly. The first step is that you're an associate, which is you're just someone who's spending some time in the presence of the gang members. Once you build a relationship, the gang will ask you to hang around. Then after you prospect, ultimately, hopefully, you're doing that to become a full patch member. From the date of your prospecting, from when it starts, there's a minimum mandatory of 365 days. And that's to some extent how they insulate themselves, because they know that a cop can't keep pace with them and can't keep up with them for that long of time. To be a full patched Hells Angel, it is everything to those members. The patches that they wear and the formatting of their vests, which are also called cuts, is very important in this hierarchy. I was a hang-around for the Skull Valley, Arizona charter of the Hells Angels. So I had a black cut that had nothing but Skull Valley on the front. When you become a prospect, you get your bottom rocker, the bottom curved patch. So when I was prospecting, I got an Arizona bottom rocker. When you become a member, then you get your top rocker, the designator Hells Angels or whatever the gang is, and your center patch, which the Hells Angels is the death head. To get full membership, you have to be voted on by the members of your charter, and you have to receive a 100% vote. If one member of that charter votes against you, your prospecting phase continues. There's another rule in the land of prospects, is that it takes as long as it takes. Territory is very important to the biker gangs. The territory you control. influence is how much money you can make within that territory. They're constantly trying to acquire territories of competitive gangs. The rivalry that I became most aware of or closest to was the Hells Angels rivalry with the Mongols motorcycle gang. The Mongols were a California-based biker gang. I was at the 2002 Laughlin River Run, which was a major biker run in Laughlin, Nevada. The Mongols' home base was Harrah's Casino, which was a short drive up the main Laughlin Drag, Casino Drive, to where the Hells Angels' home base was, which was the Flamingo Hotel. Some Hells Angels went down to Harrah's and started poking the tiger and got surrounded, and it was on. And it was every man for himself. I stepped outside of the Flamingo, and police cruisers and police motorcycles and cars and police helicopters were all screaming down Casino Drive, and I was with another agent, and I turned to him and I said, well, I guess we know where the Hells Angels went, because the police response was massive. The Harrah's Casino riot, the Morongo Casino riot, the Twin Peaks shooting in Texas. Those biker clashes are taking place all the time. We typically don't see it or hear about it until it takes place in a public venue where civilians, where just common man citizens are involved in it. There were fights that I was present for, that I knew the rules. I didn't want to blow my cover, but at the same time, I didn't want to watch some innocent civilian get beat down. I would find the target of the beating and throw some legitimate punches on them. Like I wasn't faking throwing good, hard, solid punches on the victim of this rat packing. But in essence, what I was doing was protecting that victim's head. I wasn't going to kill anybody punching them in the head, but they would have gotten killed if they take a steel-toed boot in the forehead. I got a call from a Skull Valley charter officer. Get to the clubhouse right now and bring all your hardware, which meant bring your guns. I was told the Banditos are coming to Las Vegas. Las Vegas is our territory, and they have not requested a hall pass. We expect you to shoot them before they get the kickstands down on their motorcycle. And here's the kicker. We're going to be watching you from a distance. If you don't shoot them, we are going to shoot you. I was able to get in touch with the case agent, Joe Slatella, and tell him what my orders were.